Find the value of each variable in the parallelogram. Okay, so this parallelogram, we see diagonals, and one of the theorems we have learned tell us that diagonals bisect each other in a parallelogram. So therefore, we can use this to find certain lengths. So let's find x first. Since this diagonal is being bisected, we know that 3x plus 2 equals 23. Okay, because bisecting means it cuts the diagonal into two equal halves. So 3x plus 2 equals 23. So we solve. So subtract 2 from both sides. 3x equals 21. Divide by 3. So x equals 7. We do the same kind of thing for the other diagonal. We see that 7y minus 2 equals 5y plus 4. So again, we solve for the variable, which is y in this case. So let's add 2 to both sides. And I'm going to subtract 5y from both sides. So I get 2y equals 6. So the last step, divide both sides by 2. So y is equal to 3. In part B, this time we have side lengths. And again, opposite sides in a parallelogram are congruent. So therefore, let's start with x. The two sides that are congruent are these two sides. So 5x equals 3x plus 18. So solve for x, subtract 3x from both sides. That gives us 2x equals 18. And divide both sides by 2. So x equals 9. So that takes care of x. So now we do the same thing for y. So 3y minus 7 and 2y plus 4. So set those two equal to each other. Let's add 7 to both sides. I'm going to subtract 2y from both sides. So that leaves me with y on this side and 11 on the other side. And that's it. Now, this last parallelogram, we're given all the angles, okay? And again, we know that opposite angles are congruent. So we see that only one set of opposite angles has the same variable, which is the x. So let's start with that. We can't do anything with the y or z yet. So let's set the parts with the x's equal to each other. So we have 3x minus 18 equals 2x plus 12. So I'm going to add 18 to both sides. And I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. That gives me x equals 30. To find y or z, we can't set those two equal to each other because they have two different variables, and that would not be helpful. So what we can do, though, is let's find the measure of this angle right here. So we know that x is 30. We can plug it into this expression right here and find the angle. So 2 times 30 plus 12 gives us, this is 60 plus 12, 72. So we know that this angle right here is 72. So I'm going to use the fact that the consecutive angles are supplementary and just find my angles this way. So supplementary again means that they add up to 180 degrees. So let's set up our equations. Let's find let's find y first. So 4y plus 72 equals 180. So now let's subtract 72 from both sides. 4y equals 108. And the last step is to divide both sides by 4. And that gives us y equals 27. We do the same kind of thing for z. So 3z plus 72 equals 180. Again, subtract 72 from both sides. So z equals 36. That was the last variable we needed.